All right.
Good evening,
Hello.
sir.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Jai Hind,
Good
sir.
evening, sir. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, ma'am.
Sir, you're on mute. You're on mute, sir.
Can you hear me? I trust his voice is good enough. Hello.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
if you could adjust your mic to be a little louder.
Louder. Okay, okay. Okay.
Though you speak louder without the mic.
How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, fine.
So Siddharthi, should we wait for some time or good to go?
No, we are good to go, ma'am.
Okay. So a very good evening and Jai Hind to everyone. And
Jai
today
Hind,
we
ma'am.
are really privileged to have a very, very senior, experienced educator amongst us who has been mentoring and guiding teachers for the last 42 years. I have been one of the lucky ones who has been guided and mentored by him while I was serving as a principal at Presidency School, Bangalore North. So just a brief introduction of Sir. And before that, Sir, a very warm welcome to you. And this August gathering comprises of our director, Mr. Siddharth Rajgadia, principals of the sister concerns, DPS Varanasi and DPS Lava Nagpur, and teachers from all the three campuses. So we have very learned people here, but certainly we all lack the experience and the expertise that you have, and hence we are really eager to hear you out and learn a lot again from your pearls of wisdom. So teachers and everybody, just a brief introduction, which I'll try to do my best to introduce her, but I may fail in my words. Actually, to communicate the depth of knowledge and the expertise with his years of experience that he has been hand-holding and guiding principals, majorly principals and certainly the teachers under them. Dr. G. Tangudurai is an academician with over 40 years of experience in the arena of education. Dr. G. Tangudurai has been the founding principal of Presidency School, Kasturinagar since 2008, a distinguished educationist and the director of Presidency Group of Schools, Bangalore and Mangalore. Dr. Tangudurai is a brilliant administrator, a prolific writer, and an eloquent speaker, and above all, a commendable teacher. Dr. G. Tangudurai has had laudable tenure with prestigious schools such as KD Ambari Vidya Mandir at Jamnagar, Vellamal International School, Chennai, Al Gubra School, Muscat, and as Principal Director of Presidency School, Kasturi Nagar, and Director of Presidency Group of Schools, Bangalore. Having authored various books and several articles, Sir is always keen on enhancing the educational innovations and mentoring of principals. His passion is to train and equip the teachers for the 21st century skills and has been conducting workshops and webinars for principals and teachers with his vast experience. He has also been selected by the reputed firm Microsoft and awarded the Microsoft Innovative Educator Award, exclusively available for principals. Some of his notable workshops include a mentorship workshop for principals in Mindtree Auditorium, Bhubaneswar, and a recent one on education in the 21st century, organized by Microsoft for principals in Bangalore. Adding further to his cap, Dr. G. Tangudurai is also a proud recipient of the Telegraphic Award, the Best School Award sponsored by Limca School of Records 2002, Raja Purushkar known as the Governor's Award, the Outstanding Educationist Award, the Best Citizens of India Award. He was bestowed with a national award from then President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, on the 5th of September 2002. He is also a proud recipient of the prestigious Guru Samarpane Award, which is received for his dedication and contribution in the field of education. Dr. Tangudurai ranks one of the 50 most effective principals of India according to Education Today. Dr. Tangudurai has completed 40 years in the field of education and is truly an asset to the education community. We are honored and privileged to have you, sir, today, and this August gathering is for you to address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pushpi, and thank you, Siddharth, and all the principals who have assembled today to have a very virtual interaction. And I'm also very privileged to address teachers quite far away from Bangalore, principals and teachers away from Bangalore. And I should thank the management and Dr. Pushpi, and I hope Ashwini was in touch with me, all of you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. I had a small problem here with this because of I've used a Mac and I have not been using Google for a long time. So quite obviously, even I'm still trying to see how I can share my screen and all, but I'll somehow manage it. I hope so. And I also welcome around 128 teachers. I think that they are the people whom I would like to address as the target group, because that is where, the trust which I started in 2017 called TD Educational and Charitable Trust. I've been supporting and mentoring teachers during the pandemic time. And also, it's still ongoing. I had the privilege of interacting with nearly 6,000 teachers and principals. And it's a great pleasure to add the number of teachers from DPS. Well, I hope I would be able to share the screen and then start so that I could maintain the timeline. It's up to 5:30, am I right? The arrow there is for the okay.
You could also share with Ashwini and she can present, sir.
I think I'm able to manage that. Can't share your screen. The Google Chrome might not have a screen recording permission on your. I think.
Yeah, Sumran, go ahead. You might be able to address this.
Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, you have to first let it give the permission. For that, you have to leave the meeting and let it restart the Chrome. So then you will be able to help your laptop record the
Okay.
meeting.
Just I'm trying. Okay, fine. I'll do that. So what
You
I
have to go into the settings, sir. When you click on that arrow, which is for the screen share, you will be able to let it. Well, it will ask you for giving the permission, which will lead you to
it
the
says
settings.
when I click the arrow, it says your entire screen, a window or a tab.
A tab.
So yeah, tab.
Yes.
Huh?
Whatever you wish to share, sir, it can be online, so it will go on the tab. If you want to share an entire video, that will be for the window, and then entire screen will show your entire laptop, whatever you will be doing.
Okay, so I tap your entire screen. Chrome wants to share the contents of your screen with Google Chrome. So I can
Yes, sir.
say share.
Yes. It will lead you to the system preferences.
Yeah, but it says Google Chrome might not have screen sharing recording permission on your computer.
Yes, sir. So it will
Can you
take you to
please
system
go to
preferences to give you
system
the.
preferences? Open the system preferences. There, what do I see? I
You will be
see.
able to see Google Chrome, and on your right side tab, there will be
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
selection
I got
process.
it. Yeah.
Just click on it
Hmm.
and then apply. It will ask you to restart the Chrome.
I clicked it. It is highlighted, but the apply part is not coming.
On your, sir, in that same window on the left side
Yeah,
bottom, you will be able to see a lock. Is
yeah,
there a lock?
I got it. It
Yeah,
says
just
you have to quit and reopen. Am I right?
yes, sir.
Hmm.
That's right. Yeah. Now he might rejoin. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sumran.
So you are on mute.
Okay. Your entire screen. I hope it works. Can you? Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Uh, I don't see my picture there anywhere. I don't know whether I'm able. You can
So
see
you're
my.
visible.
I'm visible.
Yeah.
How did it go? Where did I go then? Just a minute. I just want to see without seeing myself. It's very difficult. Uh,
Sir, you go with the tab. Present it with tab and you can change the tab and you can see yourself also along with the other teachers. Stop the presentation and present it with tab. There were 3 options. You choose tab.
okay. Share a Chrome tab. Chrome wants to share.
Tab.
Meet.
Tab. You go with the tab.
So WhatsApp is there and Meet is there.
No, sir. When you will go to present screen, the arrow one. There you will get 3 options. Your entire screen, a window, a tab. Click on the tab and select your presentation.
Got it. This is the one finally.
Yes.
Can you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Is coming.
Hello.
present it as well.
Mita, you can help to any desk.
Yes, ma'am,
No,
I
I think
can. Sir, can
uh,
share the link in the. Sir, can share the link in the chat box. I will present.
Present, yes, sir.
Okay.
Present, yeah, we can present, and then sir can just speak on it.
Sir, on the slide, it is a PPT or a slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Slide.
It is a PPT. Again, problem is I'm using Keynote,
No problem.
which is
No
a
problem.
So,
Sir, you
sir,
present
I'm
it again.
sorry. I'll just
yeah,
tell
it's
you.
it's
Uh,
working now. It's working now. I think it's working now. Let's
Yes,
wait it.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. So you can just share the entire screen. That would be the easiest. And if you want to shuffle between both the screens, just use your 3 fingers and slide the keypad. That will help you to shuffle.
those things I can take care. Only thing the screen has to be shared anyway.
Yes, we can see it,
Uh,
sir.
oh, yeah. Only thing is I'm not able to see you all. That's the only thing I want to just you people are able to see. I can't see you all. How do I do that? It's very unfortunate.
So you can minimize both the tabs, like in a make them a shorter video and see them both on side. Yeah. Now you can go on Chrome and minimize this too. So you can adjust it, not minimize it. I mean to say just shorten it. Just use the middle green button. Go on the Chrome.
Sir, should I present and show you?
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah, just use the yes, sir. That's right. And yeah, now the same thing. The yellow one, the yellow button on the top left corner.
Yeah, what happens is it gets minimized. I can't see you all. That's all. I can make a presentation. That's fine. Only thing I can't see you all, and without eye contact and face contact, it's a little inconvenient. Only thing is I need to know how I can share.
Sir, can you mail it to me by attaching it in a
Yeah,
mail PD cell? Push.
I think it's a heavy file. I don't know how it will go. Mhm. This is what I call sometimes a technological hijack.
Sir,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
open your drive. You open your drive and you can drag and put it in your drive, and then from there you can share within 1 minute.
Ma'am, sorry. Actually, the keynote presentations cannot be shared on Drive.
That
So-
is what I said.
This
That
is
is what the
PPT.
problem
Actually,
is.
PPT can be shared on drive.
No, ma'am, that is not a PPT. That
No,
is
no,
a
actually,
keynote.
the keynote is something I can't share
Keynote.
unless you have a Mac that side and with the keynote software. Anyway. There should be a way out. I think I have done once when I was addressing the teachers of Kerala.
Yes, sir. There is one way, sir. You
Hmm.
can make both of them full screen.
Okay.
Can you just click on the green button? Yeah.
Yeah, this is
And,
full screen.
So now use your 3 fingers and just do this gesture on the keypad, and it will go back to the desktop. 3 fingers, it will go back to the desktop. Yeah, towards your left. I mean, drag it to the right, from your left to right. Yeah. Now put this also on the full screen.
Good.
Yeah. Now there will be on your keyboard, there will be above the, like where there is the F1, F2, there will be a key wherein you will be seeing small 3 windows. 3 windows. Click
I
on
see
that.
two. I see 2 windows.
Yeah, just try to click on that.
No, that is only shifting the.
Okay, then take your 3 fingers and drag it up. The keypad, drag it up. 3 fingers and drag it up. Yeah, that's right. Now just merge both the windows. Click on the keynote and drag it to the Chrome. Click, yeah, on the Chrome, the black one, sir. Up, the small one, black one. Yeah, yes. Yes, that's it. Yes, sir. Now click on it. Yeah, now you will be able to see both.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Very
Thank
good,
you, sir.
Simran.
Thank you, ma'am.
Just now, Pushpi said there are many things we lack, and I have experience. Now this is where I lack, and you have a huge experience. Okay.
Thank
That's
you,
it.
sir.
Now,
Thank you.
how do I enlarge it? Is it like this small presentation?
Sir, sir, I think you can you see in between the windows there is small white line.
Yeah.
Just you can drag it to your right, so it will enlarge it. Or else you can just click on the play button, sir, above on the keynote. Can you see the play
Yeah,
button?
but it will
Yes.
keep on playing. No, it won't go according to my pace.
No, it will, sir. It will.
Yeah, but I'm missing you all.
No, sir. Then you have to just go with the same thing. Just press on escape button, sir.
Sir, what we can do is you can go for your presentation and you could take the question answer session. So once you stop your PPT,
Okay,
then
okay. I'll just carry on instead of wasting time.
Hanji sir, yeah.
So the time now has become 4:50. So how long can I speak now with the loss of time? Teachers would we have to go back home or something? Can you give me a
No.
timeline so that I will budget it accordingly? Anybody? 5:30? 5:45? Is it okay?
Yes, sir, that much buffer will certainly do.
Okay, I'll try to make it short as possible. Can you see my slides? It's very small. I don't know.
Just click on that small white thing between both the windows and click it and drag it to your right.
Which white thing? This one?
Yeah, just now you were clicking on it. It's right in the middle of both
This
the
one?
windows.
This one?
No. It's a white line, a small white line between the windows. On your right. Yeah, yes. Just drag it to the right, sir.
Oh, great. That's good. That's nice. That's very good. I think this is good enough. I think I can't drag any further, I suppose. If I'm able to close this, it's okay, but it is. I think I lost again. Am I right?
Yes, sir, apparently.
Okay.
Sumren, if sir goes on clicking on one slide, that will also be fine, no?
Yes, ma'am. So just click on the green button on the left top. Now just take your 3 fingers and drag it up, the mouse. Yeah, now sir, you can merge Now click on it, sir. So can you see the view button in the keynote? The view button.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you click on that? Sir, can you see a slide only, the second option?
Yeah. I think this
Sir,
is
I
good
think
enough.
this is the biggest. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. My deepest regret, but then this is something, a learning experience. I think I should ask somebody to invite me on a Google and then try it out. I've been using Zoom, and at our school we were using Microsoft. And anyway, it's all technology. Now, coming to my presentation, again, greetings to all. And as I told you, the TD Educational and Charitable Trust in 2017, which I started, is a philanthropic rather, as Dr. Pushti said, sharing my experiences with teachers and principals. And that's the basic idea about that. Today's topic, as you can all see, is Innovating Pedagogy 2022. Now, why innovating, and how can it be an innovating pedagogy, and why? We are trying to see how we could explore new forms of teaching. That is why it is innovating. And learning and assessment. Assessment I am not going to handle today. To a certain extent, learning I would be touching. To support and mentor teachers. It's a very long session. I will be sharing part of it. Now, as you all know, quite aware, all the teachers, I think 141 are there, may be very quite familiar with pedagogy. Now, this is a kind of a pedagogical innovations that we are going to discuss in this webinar. And it is mainly in response to the pandemic challenges. I hope you are aware and quite well versed in terms of the kind of an articles and journals which have been published as a reimaging pandemic situations. Innovating pedagogy as an outcome of this situation, the post-pandemic situation. First of all, there was a big divide, what you call a digital divide. There are about 15 lakhs or so schools in India, out of which around 11 lakhs are government schools. All these 11 lakh schools did not have proper online facilities for the continuing the education. So in fact, the teachers were all were on the payrolls, but the students were not there in the attendance roll. It's very unfortunate. And then again, the National Achievement Survey that came out very recently in the Hindu, it says the students' performance in the survey was not up to the mark. Not up to the mark means there has been a significant fall from ranging from 50 to 60%. Leave aside the National Achievement Survey, our practical experience when we conducted the first terminal examination immediately when there was a slight lull in the COVID case. First, we conducted the first terminal examination as an online examination. And then when we conducted the pre-board examination, it was an offline examination or in-person examination. During the online examination, or the results of the online examination showed excellent performance, nearly students getting 88, 90% in various subjects. But in-board, pre-board examinations, the performance significantly dropped by 40 to 50%. That's a real experience that we had. I think all of us had. It's all because of, as you know, teacher people disconnect, and there is a lot of learning loss in terms of reading skills, writing skills. All these are something which all of you are aware. So students need to make up the lost grounds. Now, students are very excited. I think most of the schools have reopened. They are very excited about coming to school, but how best or how well they would make up the lost grounds in terms of all those learning loss, especially the skills, application skills, reading skills, writing skills, even communication skills, and most importantly, the social skills. All these are a great loss. The present 10th class and 12th class, which had just appeared for the examinations, are a little fortunate that their scheme of examinations have been a little supportive to all those loss of learning that has happened on the online screen. But the present 10th class and 12th class will have an in-person, full-fledged according to the old pattern of examination. And that is going to be a great challenge, not only for the board examination, for the entire school, because 1 to 8 did not have schooling at all for the last 3 years. So all this suggests that we need to make up a lost grounds. Now, how are we going to do that? This is where the word innovation comes in. We have to find new ways of learning. And all of you are quite aware what pedagogy is. It is, of course, the study of teaching approaches. In other words, we have to strategize, modify, customize, and suit to the present needs of the students. That's a very important aspect. We all know the different methods, but I'm not going to discuss the methods. It's a teacher-centered method. We all know how we have been conducting classes and group discussions in small groups, student-centered, G.N. Piaget's constructive approach, John Dewey's project-based learning, Maria Montessori's playway method, all this inquiry-based learning, flipped classroom, which is, of course, an outcome of the online classes, flipped classroom learning, and even J.D. Krishnamurthy's questioning mind approach. With all this, we had during the pandemic NEP 2020, which had clearly suggest that children should have experiential learning, project-based learning, research-based learning, and more of practical-oriented learning. Now, this is a challenge because I think once the schools have reopened, I think we are orienting the teachers and we are structuring our curriculum plan. But are we modifying the curriculum plan to make up the lost grounds? Are we incorporating those pedagogical approaches which is required to fill the gap that has arisen due to learning loss? These are to be examined, and learners need to move from just being a consumers of knowledge, and here we have to give them more experiential learning, and that is becoming producers of knowledge. I'm going to go a little faster because I had a lot of other examples to give, but then I would like to complete the presentation and do not want to stop somewhere for the lack of time. Now, when we talk about research-based learning, I think it is basically where the children's internalize knowledge. A simple basic examples, my dear teachers, is nowadays, even when you are teaching English, a child comes across a difficult word, he immediately asks the teacher or he Googles the meaning. But gone are the days when, when the English teacher used to say, you keep a dictionary on the table, you look into the dictionary, the aspect the pedagogical aspect of looking into a dictionary is inquiry and discovery. Inquiring and discovering the meaning of words, and that internalizes the meaning of word. Similarly, investigating the concept, be it science or physics or chemistry or maths and theories, and students should be the solution seekers, and that can come only by a research method or a project method. I think our methodology or pedagogy of the classes need to little modify, if not totally change. So when we are designing the curriculum, we have to give more room for this type of experiential learning. Then exploratory, they need to explore on their own given a task and come back, and they have to shift from towards inquiry, creativity, critical thinking, green invention, passion, communication skills, everything that we all talked about. Now, research-based learning triggers the following. One is that it does not allow the learner to be passive. From passive, it transforms them to an active learner. Raising questions, the art of questioning, the art of clarifying the doubts, this is a very important skill that the students must have. And I think the teachers play a very important role in giving them kind of an induction where they should be able to ask questions, raising questions, seeking solutions on their own through our problems, discussion, debates, ideas, all that. And once they have the ideas, they catch on. We call it a family of ideas once you have a good idea. And then, of course, the divergent thinking, social and emotional learning, all these are something that is the benefit of research. I don't have to go in detail to tell you what is research learning. I'm just covering up some of these pedagogical approaches and metacognition and cooperative learning, which is nowadays, according to the 21st century learning skills, we call it collaborative learning, and growth mindset. It's a very interesting aspect which I always think that the student should develop. Now I have highlighted 3 of them because these 3 I'm going to touch during this short time, whereas all others are quite well known to the teachers, and they may have, since you all have a very unique system of having a training program on every Friday, I hope you may have been covering some of those. Now, this is something you all may be familiar, but something that we need to introspect and try to review in a way. What is metacognition? It is thinking about thinking. This is the skill that the children develop. To make an individual metacognitively aware is to ensure that the individual has learned how to learn. So in the process, he becomes a self-directed learner, and he becomes a self-esteem learner, learning on his own. And he also learns on account of his own experiential learning. So that's a very interesting aspect that metacognition talks about. And nowadays, I think children don't think as such. They have become a very passive learning in terms of the kind of an examination system that we have. NEP 2020 discourages us from making the children rote learners. That's what it says about the learning system that needs to be modified. The most important aspect of this metacognition is that the children become a very, very explorative in terms of learning. So, as I said, it's a self-directed learning. That is something that we need, and this comes mostly in terms of project-based learning and research-based learning, and group discussions as well. The next aspect is This is something I would skip because it requires a little. Why it is important, you can see that as the children at the age of 5, they have a very good skill of this metacognition skills. 98% of the learning happens because of their own skills that they develop at an early stage, but it slowly dies down, or rather diminishes, as they grow from 10 years to 15 years and to the adults. The other aspect which I wanted to share as part of the innovating pedagogy is to develop the growth mindset. It's a very interesting aspect. A fixed mindset is something that the children believe that they have a talent, or they have the intelligence which they have inherited, or they call themselves as a gifted learners. I think against that, we need to promote growth mindset, where intelligence would become a fluid. Means you use your intelligence, work hard and flourish through hard work with grit and resilience. And I think in that way, you will have the children will have that growth mindset. Very often, the mediocre students, the slow learners, they feel they are not gifted. But if they have a growth mindset and we develop that, and one of the aspects of growth mindset is sense of achievement. Give them a sense of achievement in what they are doing. It can be an incremental, but definitely if you give them a sense of achievement even in incremental phase, they will get self-motivated. So if you want to carry a macro level student population, it is not the fixed or the intelligent students who can give the good score or the board results. It is the overall the students, and to carry all the students, we need to develop the growth mindset. This is some statistics which I collected to say how the different areas contribute to the growth of a child. Subject orientation in Asia, let us think of Asia, others are not so irrelevant, is 8. It's not rounded to 100, but it is all comes out less than 100, but they say that numbers may not sum to 100 due to rounding. 8 for subject orientation. Mindset in general has 23%. Home environment 15%. Students' behavior 12%. School factors 18%. And teachers factors 16%. And others 9%. So you can see the growth mindset has a greater share in the growth of the child's education. And I think in that way, I think we should need to focus on that. Talking about here, talking about the growth mindset, I think we should also, I would like to share a study that was recently published, that in the educational scenario or in the teaching learning process where the principal or the head of the institution is also a part of the organization, teachers contribute about 45% of the knowledge or the skills to the students. And the principals contribute around 25%. Now that 25% is where all this academic administration is coming in, strategizing, bringing innovations, orienting, and the kind of programs that you have in enlightening the teachers. Because if the teacher's percentage has to be enhanced, and because the principal cannot have more than 25 because of his other administrative works, but definitely the principal has a great contribution in changing this, in bringing about the growth mindset of the teachers and also the students. Now, what can we do in post-pandemic times? We need to open up opportunities that are not available in class. Now, even now, though the students have started coming to the school, attending classes, enjoying the classes quite a bit, but quite noisy nowadays because of the extreme excitement they have. I don't know. They are all very excited to see one another. Quite obviously, I don't know how far it is feasible that we can take the students for a field trip or an excursion. I mean, these kind of experiential learning may have some limitations even for the next session. So we should create an opportunity in the class, and I think all of you quite familiar during the online classes that AR and VR, that is augmented learning and virtual realities, or virtual realities and augmented reality, this can take the students to show them the reality. They can take them and show them Taj Mahal. You can take them and show them the core of the earth. And this kind of a thing you can bring in. And thanks to pandemic and thanks to the kind of in-depth training that our teachers have on the online platform, I think blended learning has come to stay. In this innovating pedagogy, we cannot ignore some of those skills that teachers have acquired on the online platform. That could be a great supplement in bringing about a conceptual change in the mind of the students. So this virtual reality means using computer technology to create a 3D experience, or an augmented reality with the digital images into a real world. To make this all are available nowadays. So many apps, so many online resources are available. Teachers can play a small role in bringing these realities in class for those aspects of learning where they cannot take the children. And another very interesting thing that I came across of innovating pedagogy. Actually, this is innovating pedagogy is a document that was published by the Open University of Scotland, where they brought this pedagogy during this pandemic times. And one of these they had highlighted is gratitude as a pedagogy. Very interesting it is. What is gratitude? You all know, it's kind of a acknowledging of what people have done something for us. And it's a very, very conscious action that when we have a gratitude, we want to reciprocate, we give back. And I think that relationship gives a very cordial relationship, builds up a relationship. Now, the children having lost the in-person connect with the teacher, gratitude pedagogy plays a very important role post-pandemic. Because here the relationship has to come in again. And this relationship can be built when you respect the students and the students respect you. And you acknowledge and the contribution of the students when they give something to reinforce learning in the class. At times, the students can also give you a presentation which would be quite enlightening. And you thank them, you show your gratitude. And I think that would enhance the self-esteem of the student, and that would build up a very good relationship. This, of course, all in academic context, what I could say is gratitude can help the student to improve the student-teacher and the student-teacher relationship. So this relationship management is a unique experience that we need to evolve. Gone are the days where teacher and taught had a different relationship of these are the days when we have to be very collaborative. We could also take them as a partner, as a stakeholder in promoting learning. And if you give that opportunity to the students in terms of presentations, in terms of flipped learning, or in terms of a kind of a project that you give and ask them to show in the class. Now the challenge is, as many of the teachers are listening to me may think that we have a curriculum, we have a scheme of examinations. How do we create time and space for this type of learning, which is more evident in international schools because they have a different syllabus which creates the time and space for such activity? Well, I think the NEP 2020 has given guidelines on the new curriculum design. I think we do talk about NEP 2020, but the implementation has to take place. Of course, the target year is 2023, but then somewhere we have to accommodate the new pedagogy, the new innovative pedagogy. Even what NEP 2220 has suggested is also an innovating pedagogy, most of the aspects. So this is very important, and it improves the well-being of both the students, this gratitude pedagogy. And practical approach to gratitude as a pedagogy is that a lot of asking questions, open up their mind, open up, let them come out of their shell. And I think that is a very important way of connecting with the students, and asking students and the teachers to examine their attitude before starting their teaching. This is something teachers are quite well aware, but I think we have to make a very conscious effort in creating this relationship as a part of the innovating pedagogy. As a result, you'll find students are more engaged, are less distractive, motivation of learning, increased confidence, deeper understanding of concepts. All this could happen only if students become a collaborator. A student becomes a participant. Student is not a passive learner, but an active learner. For that, we have to evolve the pedagogy or accept the pedagogy which is best suited for the post-pandemic times. We need to deliberate. We can have a lot of discussion on this. All the teachers are very knowledgeable, experienced. All that they have to do is to see how they could come out with ideas, with the family of ideas, with strategies. You need not discard the entire curriculum plan. At least 10 to 20% if certain modification can be done in the curriculum plan to create a room for this innovating pedagogy. I think the children who have not had a in-person classes for such a long time, unfortunately, the gap they need to fill up, and they cannot go back to the text reading, and they cannot go back to the screen again, but they need to open up, they need to talk, they need to question, they need to share, they need to organize, and in such a way they will enjoy the learning. So that is the one thing. I thought I said I would be able to complete by 5:30, and that keeping that in line, I'm very time conscious. Unfortunately, in spite of that being, I lost a lot of time in the beginning. What are the best learning moments? This video that I'm going to show you, generally I end up with a video which summarizes some kind of how our relationship of the students has to change. This is not practically a school environment, but an environment of teaching and learning, an environment of developing skills out of the way, out of the box. more of a personal relationship, more of a gratitude pedagogy, more of the respect and belief that teacher and the taught have. So that is what it reflects, and more importantly, attitude. I would say attitude is also a kind of a pedagogy. So these are the soft skill pedagogies which touches the students very closely. Of course, we cannot discard all that pedagogy that we have been trained in B.Ed or M.Ed. That's a very integral part. That is the fundamental. But we need to strategize according to the need of time. So this is a movie which is say about 7 minutes, which will take me up to 5:30. At the end, I would like to take the questions if I would be happy to share.
Is this a choir rehearsal?
Is the sound is okay? Can you? That was a video on how you can bring joy of learning, how you can motivate people who were not so confident about their singing. A few questions we can even discuss on this if time permits, but before that, I would like to ask one interesting question, especially if any of the teachers could also answer me, is we always talk about DNA. DNA is, of course, a set of molecules responsible for transmitting and carrying inherited materials or genetics. So, what is a teacher's DNA? Can anyone visualize what is a teacher's DNA? Very often when I ask questions in my interview for the teacher's post, I ask them why you become a teacher, because I am very passionate, I love teaching, and all that they say, very interesting. But what is that teacher's DNA? Can anybody analyze? This is something very interesting, which I came across as well. Anybody idea what could be the teacher's DNA? Dear teachers, quite a good number of them. Will they be able to answer? Do you have that system of opening and yes? Anyone can just suggest, even if it is something, I guess. What is our DNA? Yeah, somebody is fine. Any guess? At least one word.
For me, teacher's DNA would be giving without any expectation in return.
Okay. Fine. Patience, somebody writes. Never let your students say, I give up. Okay. So this video that we had seen, which reflects that whether the participants or the students, they require teaching and learning that are something very interesting, new, and very experiential. They want to enjoy every bit of that experience. I think this all comes out of imagination, how you imagine or how you perceive what the students would like to have while you drive the concept in the class. How they would find it very interesting, in what presentations, if it is English, whether it is dramatization, whether it is intonation, whether it is science, inquiry and in project or research, whatever way. So you have, as a teacher, has to use your imaginations apart from all those documents that are available in the educational scenario. And then once you have that, you think you must take the responsibility for what we teach. That's what we call it passion, you call it commitment, or whatever it is, but it is accountability, responsibility over the students. I think that was something there in the Gurukul system. The DNA during the Gurukul system was quite strong, and that itself connotes and leads to higher orientation among the children. So one thing is imagination, another is something action that you take on your side. Yes, somebody says influence as well. Yes, fine. Influencing is also very important. And very interesting answers are coming up. Thank you. Thank you. And all of us are able to read that and appreciate your answers. And the third one, according to the video, the last part, you see, that's not the way the sisters sing in a church. It's a very serious, I mean, they are not supposed to dance like that, you see. But that sister has motivated them. And I mean, the kind of influence and enthusiasm, the excitement that the teacher has created, there was so much of joy. And I think that joy made them all dance together. And while engaging in that act of singing or in the act of teaching and learning, I think we must bring that joy. So I think as a DNA, we can interpret in so many ways: imagination, action, and joy. Because this is what that brings about a very powerful influence on the students and creates an educational environment. So, and above all, I always strongly believe that it's a very good system that you have a training program every Friday. According to the NEP as well as the CBSE, we need to have 50 hours of training for a credit. And all this training is good, but how far are we reinforcing, accepting it, strategizing in our class, or planning a little bit of all that great work that you do? Because this DNA, or whatever you talk about in terms of your self-belief, is very powerful and the essence of the teacher in us. We often say the teacher in us or teacher in you, and that is the DNA. That is a very strong DNA. Any questions that you would like to ask? So otherwise, I am done. So 5:30, I'm supposed to conclude in spite of being delayed. More or less, I've kept my time. It's very interesting. There is various other aspects that really, but nowadays it's more of an in-person, the kind of impact you have in in-person training. It doesn't happen on all these webinars. Because we are addressing people with faces, we are addressing people without faces. So anyway, thank you for this opportunity.
Does anybody have any question before we sign off from the session today? Pratima, please mute yourself. Yeah. Anybody has a question? Okay. So thank you, sir, for your gracious presence. And I'm sure all the teachers that have been going through a lot of trainings and workshops and webinars, but still having somebody with years of experience and adding a new persona to the webinar and giving your perspective to the things certainly makes a lot of difference. I'm sure growth mindset and metacognitive aspects.
Metacognition is something some of them are writing, is a new concept. Some of them. So it's a very elaborate item on which a lot of discussion and need to strategize and formulate how to put it practically in the classroom situations in various subjects. Yeah, thank you. Sorry sorry for the interruption.
Not at all, sir. So thank you for having spared your valuable time for us, sir. And we will certainly look forward to many more such sessions with you where you are able to add a lot of value to our system and our approaches. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Shall I leave? I take leave. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.